Welcome to RVing in New England, the nation's only forum that puts you on stage with some of the biggest names in the RV industry. And now your hosts, John DePietro and Bob Zagami.
Oh, there we are.
Here we are.
I just figured out something different.
You're always surprised when we come on.
Well, I'm always surprised when I do something different. I actually put us up on the screen behind the music, and then the video came, and I thought as soon as the video was over, we would splash on the screen, but there seemed to be a little bit of a delay. However, it was a significant improvement on my video capabilities.
Yes. And we want to welcome everyone to RVing in New England. My name is John DePietro. His name is Bob Zagami. And we want to let you know that this show is brought to us each week at this time by our friends at Seacoast RV Route 1 in Saco, Maine. They've got crop models. They've got elevation models. They've got Winnebago products. And you know what? They're just nice people creating family fun on Route 1. And they've got an open house coming up next month that we're going to be up there for, and some special surprises. So yes, that's pretty cool.
And they just finished up their last show of the season, which is one of our topics tonight. Yep. I'm sure they're happy to have all the shows behind them. Any of you who are active RVers or really close to our RV community up here, you realize the amount of work that goes into an RV show to make it the excellent presentation of the products, and a lot of our owners are there.
This is interesting. We have two people that we know that are in Myrtle Beach tonight. Actually, three people. We have our guest who's going to be with us, and also Jim and Sue Keenan are in Myrtle Beach as well. Oh, so it's a big Myrtle Beach show. I don't know where RV Sun-Kissed Village is.
I don't either. Dante is over at the Myrtle Beach Travel Park. Who else? Who's the third one?
Oh, well, Sue Keenan and Jim Keenan.
Oh, you're counting the Keenans as two. Okay.
It's two, yes. Yeah, two individuals.
Because Sue plus Jim would be two. And Dante would make it three. Right.
That's what I said.
I am so smart tonight, man.
Why is this screen so small? Is something different normally than here?
No. Typically we have three people on there at one time, three or four, which makes it takes up a little bit more of the space itself. So my question for those that are on, have you had it with consumer shows? How many did you go to? And what was the most exciting thing that you saw? And we'll intersperse those answers into the show because it might take you a while to think about that. But how many did you go to? What impressed you most, a particular product? And anything else that maybe impressed you about a particular show, or tell us which show you thought was the best show. That's fine too.
Everything. Yeah, but don't tell us anything unless it's the Boston show.
Right. Yeah, we'll make it one of those surveys that will tell you how to answer it.
A typical government survey that they already know the answers before they begin the survey. I figured out with government surveys, all they want to do is go out and find people to verify what their predetermined answer is going to be.
Exactly. So who are you there tonight? Jim Conboy. Hi, Jim. Steve Hogan's there from Rhode Island, and Susan and Jim. You ever notice how Susan and Jim sign in separately?
Well, they
couldn't get their airtime. Where is Sun?
No, look down below. Susan said that's where we are, same as Dante.
How can Sun-Kissed Village RV Resort and Myrtle Beach Travel Park
I don't know. Ask her. Look it down below. She says.
I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, they should go see each other.
So
keyboards.
Yeah, and so Dante's in a Georgetown Class A. When we bring him up, Sue, you can do a little chat with him there. Separate keyboards. Not Sun-Kissed. She misspoke. She didn't know where she was. Jim knew where she was. That's interesting because when Dante was doing a pre-check with me, he had to ask his wife where they were. Even though he drove the motorhome in, took the right turn, the left turn, everything that she said, he didn't know where he was.
Right. Well,
how's that?
You know.
So what's new in your life this week, Mr. DePietro? Is all the snow gone yet?
You know what? There's a snow pile. Do I see any out here now? No, but there's a pile right out by the mailboxes, and it was last Wednesday night that the snow started into Thursday. But you know what? It's exciting because we're getting ready to go back to Orlando. Actually, I'll be with you this time next week. The Kenny Rogers Show, which we're going to talk about in just a minute. But I'm telling you, folks, tell me if you agree with me. Trying to make reservations with airlines is
I saw your poor JetBlue
frightening.
I'll tell you, if I wasn't so busy, John, I would have done the call for you also, but I just had too much.
Oh, I'm telling you, it was just crazy because you get people in foreign countries that, number one, you can't understand them, and they don't understand what you're trying to tell them because they're reading a script. So last night I went to Kenya twice and South Africa twice. And anyway, that was cool.
But that was a new one for me. I did not realize they were employing people over in Africa also.
Yep. And somebody said that they pay them peanuts compared to what they'd have to pay an American. But
I'm sure.
And you know what? And that's the campground's got to understand that too when they start. When you think you're calling a campground, but that you're calling a central reservation system.
Yep.
And you refer to something at the campground, and the person at the other end has no idea because they could be in Kansas City somewhere, or Omaha, which is a big place for call centers because of central location. But we're looking forward to being in the RV this time next week.
Yep. So Jim says he went to 6 shows this year. The best one was Springfield. They get a lot of consumers out there. There's no question about it.
That's because they have a lot of people. A lot of our leaky roofs.
Low battery. Who else? Jim says he worked 3 shows and attended Tampa. Okay. Estelle says good evening from New Hampshire. I guess she didn't go to any shows or missed the first question. Gail Hogan, Steve is still banned from being able to comment. Oh, wow. Terrible.
Yeah. But see, he did before, though.
Is she joking or
no, he did before. He did. He signed in at 7:03.
Signed in, but he hasn't commented. Wait a minute.
Well, he says he's banned. He tries to and I mentioned that to you. He tried.
Well, okay, Steve.
You have him in you have him on a do not let him talk list.
No, it's not me. I don't know.
No.
I wouldn't put anything past.
Yeah. See, he's trying. He can't type anything. Hey, Jason Cole.
Jason,
no, it's not a joke.
Oh, you know what? The only reason Jason's on is because he sees his buddy is going to come on.
Palange.
Yeah, and we'll probably get the Caboses, and they see their buddy Frank there, and they're envious. So Frank is back in Massachusetts, though.
Sorry about the delay.
So we will be together next week. I forgot that. And just on top of your snow comment, you'll be glad to know that tomorrow it's going to be 90 degrees and sunny here.
Yeah, you know what? You can keep that. I want 70 to 75 all year long.
Well, how many sweatshirts do you have on? I
only have 2 tonight.
How the hell can you do that? Why don't you just buy a heater for that office up on the top there?
I have a floor heater, and the whole room is heated. But it's cold out. It gets down into the 40s now. In fact, now outside it is.
That's terrible. Down to the 40s. Oh.
Right now it is.
Does
53. Wow.
Does anybody feel sorry for DePietro?
53.
Hey, tell me about the Kenny Rogers Band.
Okay. So next week, we're going to do something really interesting. We're bringing the world-class Kenny Rogers Band to an RV park. But it's not just any RV park. As you know, anybody who's been to Margaritaville, it is 400 spots of pure luxury, and they've got an event center. So
a great one. Yeah.
A great one. And the band is coming there, and hopefully what we'll be able to do is after we do this one Margaritaville, there's 6 or 7 Margaritaville RV resorts throughout the country. I don't know if they all have facilities like this. And there's 2 Margaritaville cruise ships. So maybe we'll have an RVing in New England cruise this fall. Bob wants to do it during hurricane season because you get to eat your meal twice.
We just got the report. This is going to be a more aggressive hurricane season. There could be 23 events this year.
23. Yeah. Okay. So Susan asked what Margaritaville. Susan, it's the Margaritaville, Camp Margaritaville in Auburndale, Florida, which is located conveniently halfway between Tampa and Orlando.
Yep.
And
I think we have a little video of that, John.
Yeah, let's just play the video. So the Kenny Rogers Band featuring Don Gatlin, as it says right on your shirt, is coming to a campground, a very famous campground that Bob and I have had an opportunity to visit. Talk a little bit about, you've been up there, you've seen it, it's absolutely amazing, but we want to hear about the show as well.
So John had and Bob did the biggest RV show in the world in Tampa in January. And John happened to run into a gal who ended up being the general manager of Camp Margaritaville in Auburndale, Florida, which is certainly
conveniently located. Conveniently located between between what? Orlando and Tampa. Okay.
That's right. Right. Yeah. It's sort of right in the middle of Florida and up north and north central, I guess you'd call it. And she said, John happened to bring up the Kenny Rogers Band, and because he's been a long time friend and fan of the band since the early 80s when he used to come around when we played with Kenny in Worcester at the Centrum. So John mentioned that, and this gal said, oh, I'm a huge Kenny Rogers fan. We'd love to have Kenny Rogers Band come and perform at our RV park. And John said, oh, really? Do you have a facility? And they said, yeah, we have an event facility that seats about 1,000 people, and we'd love to have them come. So, and it's going to be a great show. And then to here, yeah, centralfloridatics.com. You scroll down here to the bottom and go to the second page, and then look at the 19th. 19th. Right here. You see the Kenny Rogers Band, and you just click get tickets and you can purchase tickets. So anyway, we'd love to see people come to that show. We had I'm going to stop the sharing of the screen.
So all the hits, right? I mean, this is not a shortened version. You're going to hear the hits from start to finish.
I should have gone into more detail. We're the original band that traveled with Kenny for 40 years. So all the hits, not only all the hits that you want to hear, but in the way that Kenny did them. So we play them just like we played them with Kenny. And Don Gatlin, a great front man, is singing and entertaining, engages the audience lovely. And it's a great show. People, you routinely have several standing ovations throughout the show and really love it. So it's a lot of fun because we can tell stories about being on the road with Kenny and inside stories about how this song came about or that song came about, that type of thing. So it's a really fun show that you won't see at any other imitation Kenny. You won't see what we offer.
You said the magic word as far as entertaining. This isn't just sit down and listen to records. You engage at every aspect of the conference, as does Don, and it's an amazingly entertaining concert.
Well, thank you. I know you've come to a few of them, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, he always sneaks in the back door. Did you notice that, Chuck?
Yeah, he does. That's right.
Just before snow time. See, I'm looking out at snow. That's why. Just before showtime, he sneaks in the back door. And
the back door opens and you lead me in, and then you take me immediately to the food in the kitchen, and we have a snack with the band before the show.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is such a great great facility because there's going to be tailgating before. There's some meet and greets, and the Chuck, you also have a special feature that you've got a book out that kind of describes your life with Kenny. Will you be making copies of that available?
That's true. It's called 40 Years with the Legend, Kenny Rogers.
No, not me.
And at the show, I offer those for sale, and I will sign them at the show. So if anybody wants a book like that, I'll be happy to provide those. You can also order it on Amazon, but it's more fun just to buy it at the show, and I can autograph it.
Cool. Okay. Friday, April 9th.
And DePietro, you cannot autograph it.
Okay.
This is Chuck's book. It's Chuck's event. You cannot autograph it. So put your 8x10 glossy photographs back in the draw.
They're black and white too. They're black and
Right.
white. So Chuck, we're looking forward to it. We'll be seeing you down there, and Bob's driving up. I'm flying down. And RVers, if you're looking for a phenomenal place to RV during this summer, they're open year round. Out in Florida, they're open year round. It's Camp Margaritaville. It's in Auburndale, Florida. And once you go there, you will be going back.
Well, and I should mention, John, we got a lot of our fans who are snowbirds and are in Florida in the winter. And I would encourage any of them to come to the show and take this message back to the Winnebagos and the Alliance and Brinkley and all these RV manufacturers that have owner rallies. We want to see Chuck and the band at the owner rally. So if you're within 3 or 4 hours, come on down to Auburndale on the 19th.
So we want to thank you so much for spending time, Chuck, with us here. And let's go back to New England.
And here we are. Here we are is right, and it is, if you're in Florida or you can get anywhere near Auburndale, it's worth checking out and getting it. If you cannot, you can go to Kenny Rogers. I'll put the address up later, but KennyRogersBand.com and check out the tour schedule. And John, you mentioned something when we were talking to Chuck, and that was Chuck Jacobs. I think, I don't know if we mentioned who we were talking. Or did we tell who we were talking
No,
about?
the next one we did. The other video we did.
Oh, that's right. We did a longer one that'll be on the Camper Report show this week. But it's a great tour, and I know you mentioned a little bit about a Christmas tour, and I thought that the Kenny Rogers Christmas tour every year that you were nice enough to take May and I to was just, it's a show that everybody looked forward to. I mean, it was incredible. The crowds,
great show.
And if they could, I mean, you're never going to duplicate Kenny Rogers, but Don Gatlin does an incredible job in singing. But I would be interested in seeing a Christmas show. I'd travel quite a bit of a distance to see if they booked a couple of Christmas shows.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, and we'll get back to RVing here in just a second, but it's all RVing related, is that in our other video, Chuck said, John's having a great time just traveling around the country in his RV, going to shows and stuff like that. And he goes, I think that would be a great idea. And he goes, well, hold on a second. I just did that for 40 years in a bus. So how quickly he forgets. But, the first 25 years, they just jetted from city to city. Kenny had his own Bach 111, which is basically the same as a 727. And they would fly from the venue back to Atlanta. And then he had a big compound, and all the band had their own house. And the next day they'd get up at 3:00 in the afternoon, or get on the plane at 3:00 in the afternoon and fly to the next city, do the show, turn around and come back. And they do 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off. So anyway,
let's do this. I'm going to shake it up a little bit because I noticed that Dante's been waiting patiently down there, and Frank. I'm going to bring them both up. But before we do that, let's check quickly on comments and see.
Is Horky going to the Masters or not?
I don't know. He did go 1 year. I don't think he goes every year. That's why I sent him that smart ass note today. But I think I don't think.
Good evening, guys. Don't forget, this is Masters Week. You know what? I'd love to Do they have RV parking, Kevin? Do they have RV parking in the lots at Augusta National?
Is Kevin on? I didn't see him.
Yeah, he's on.
What time?
He was on at 7:14 and 7:17.
Okay, so hang on. I'll catch up to him. Bernie's a little bit late tonight. Jason Cole, oh no. Steve Hogan still cannot comment. Steve, you must be in Facebook jail, I guess. And Jason Cole says, hey, Bernie, Jason, none of these side conversations now. Frank Palange, I will be with you shortly. I know I can see you in the lobby, Frank. We're going to bring you up shortly. Jason, poor you. Oh, dear. Jim Roy, up in the snowbound hills of Monmouth, Maine. God, put that that tractor away and get back to building all those great Airstreams. Speaking about Airstreams, let me stop you in dead stream. I'm going to do something different. We don't normally do this.
You're going to break this news?
I got this idea to do some breaking news today. I don't know why.
Wait.
What?
Wait. We need breaking news music. You ready?
Yep.
We interrupt this program to bring you this special report. And now on the scene here is Cub reporter Bob Zagami. Bob, what can you tell us?
Well, John, it's just breaking news this morning, hot off the press from RV Pro magazine. Campers Inn is closing their facility at Union, Connecticut, and it's going to reopen as an exclusive Airstream dealer, which Airstream loves. It'll be known as Airstream of Southern New England. It'll be a Campers Inn facility. That is a major event. And I understand that you actually saw some Airstreams today.
I went by there today on my way down to Stamford, Connecticut, and I said, geez, I didn't know they had Airstreams there. But I looked over and I saw a whole bunch of Airstreams and a few other units, much less than they normally had. They usually have a ton of Grand Design units down there. So evidently they're in the midst of making that change.
Yep, it should be interesting. All right, back to our comments. Jason Cole says getting comment removed. Jason says, I keep getting comment removed by moderator comment. I have never, ever removed, if they're considering me the moderator because I sign in and produce the program, I have never, ever taken somebody's comment off. Bernie says, hello, Jason Cole. Jason says, nice. And Susan, we answered your question. It's up in Auburndale. Jason Cole, wow, 23. What's that?
23 storms.
Oh, yeah. The hurricane. Oh, yeah, the hurricane. I talked about that. Yeah, it could be an interesting season for them, that's for sure. Thanks. Kevin Hawkey, thank you. And I'll catch up to Corky. Don't forget that. Kevin, didn't you read my email today, Kevin? I actually sent you.
He's there. He's there right now.
He is?
He's flying back tonight.
All right, let's catch up to him. Haas, hey guys, late again, surviving Texas weather.
Rough weather down there.
Ryan, good evening, guys. A little late. Hey, are you at Dometic training? And I think John asked you the question. You're closed on the 9th and the 10th, unless you're back home. Are you? John's got you right. Reese, what's his name? Ryan Priest. Jersey, straight from the Daytona 500. All right. But have you finished Dometic training, and was it local in New England? Jimmy, congrats on your well-deserved promotion. Who's?
That's to Kevin.
Well, Kevin's promoted. Oh, that boy. He's sharp. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it, sir. Bill Sell, greetings from South Africa. John, you're just kidding. Really in the U.S.
Inside story.
You got a bust. Yeah, exactly. Kevin, I was down at the Masters for the practice rounds, flying back home late tonight. Well, isn't that like buying the cheap seats, Kevin? I mean, I thought you would have been in the 18th hole in the grandstand.
Well, he's with a small company. They can't quite afford
They can't
travel and
spend that much money for golf. Yeah. Bernie, hey. Kevin says, just catching up on emails, no phones allowed on the grounds at the tournament. That makes sense. And Ryan says, just got done today. Yes, it was in Auburn, Mass. Oh, wow. Didn't have to go far. All right, let's bring these two guys up and see what kind of fun topics we can talk about. I'll talk about, what time is it?
3 minutes.
Let's bring them up.
Want to do the break first?
Yeah. All right, Frank, go back to sleep. I'm gonna do a break. Yeah. Who else? who else would treat their fans like that? On the half-hour break, we got what did I do? Oh, yes, they are our sponsor being Seacoast RVs up in Saco, Maine, creating family fun on Route 1. If you're in the area, you know somebody that wants to have a career as an RV technician, they are hiring. They are hiring for their store associates. They get one of the biggest stores in Maine to do that. And they just finished, as I said earlier, their last show of the season, which was the Auburn RV and Camping Show. And through April 13th, so you got 3 more days, $10,000 off on any in-stock park model, $10,000 off any in-stock elevation park model, and $55,000 off a Winnebago motorized, and $5,000 off any in-stock towable. Only 3 days. And I had breakfast with Kenny. He was down in Florida here near me and visiting his father. We had breakfast, and he tells me they have about 25 or 30 park models in stock. There's just nobody better in New England or the Northeast if you're going to look at a park model motorhome, and he's killing it with the Winnebago products. And as John always says,
audience, is Bob frozen up with you as he is frozen on my screen? Because his audio is fine, but his video is all frozen.
Interesting. Not on my end here. That's interesting.
Jason, let us know. Is Bob frozen up?
I don't know. All right. So we're going to get to the second part of the show, and we're going to get to people who actually do this stuff every day. Frank Palange on the right. Now, depending on Dante, did I wake you up? You kind of popped up out of the seat as if you were taking a nap.
Yeah, maybe.
On the left side. Now, Frank is home. So, Frank, I'm going to let you talk first.
Frank's in a car.
Well, he knows. He said he was going to take. Go ahead.
For you guys that know me, you better appreciate this. I just walked out of a big dinner to come sit in my car and join you.
Wow.
Where?
We're at a fundraiser at the Dante Club.
Oh, the Dante Club. Okay, they have Polenta?
Yep.
They have Polenta. That was the place that my parents' wedding reception was.
Really? Yeah, we had pork, polenta, potatoes.
Was it the Lions Club or the Rotary Club or something?
Unico.
Oh, I think my cousin was there.
Who?
Balboni.
Might
Bakery people.
Might be.
Yeah, whatever.
A missing dessert for you, Bob.
Frank, I really appreciate it, Frank. That's very.
It's
very
funny
nice.
because it's still light where Frank is, and it's dark where Dante is. What the hell's going on?
No, Dante pulled down his shade so that we wouldn't have all the light coming on his face. We
That was also a half hour ago. Okay.
We asked him to pull down the shade, Petro.
But that was a half hour ago.
Yeah, well,
Dante, bring it.
We're
Go
not
halfway.
We're not having a solar eclipse. Hey,
John's a little slow.
We have to welcome.
There we go. That's good. That's good, Dante.
All right, Dante. Cool. All right. Wait a minute. No. One more thing. We have to welcome. No. What do you want?
We have 4 Italians on the air.
It's the best show ever.
4 Italians.
The only thing missing is food.
Right. Exactly. We may break a record for tonight.
Go back and get that dessert.
Yeah, ziti. Get me some ziti.
Yeah.
Oh, ziti? Okay.
So look at it. We got to congratulate Frank. As you see from his shirt, Frank is now a member of the Grandparents Club. And
but the
with
baby's a year old, though.
But your half dozen, DePietro, you could probably give him some good pointers.
But that baby's a year old, is she not?
He will be a year old this month.
Yeah, well, Zagami's on delay. He's on a 1 year
delay.
delay.
On delay. It's the first time we've had Frank on since he became a grandparent.
That's right.
See,
okay.
You know what?
He doesn't
Hey,
worry,
John,
he doesn't worry
John,
about those details. I have
John,
to do
let Bob run the show, will you?
it. Jeez.
That's why we get all the dark air.
He just shows up at 7:00. I've been working since 7 this morning, and you and I talked at 8:00 this morning.
That's
so that's
right.
validation that I work all day on this show from 7 in the morning till 7 at night. And
Yeah.
Right.
Let's
Well,
let Dante get a word in here.
When the credits
Dante, tell
start
us where you're
rolling,
at.
just delete the Petro. That's all.
there you go. Dante,
Oh,
Myrtle Beach. Tell us how your winter was.
I'm sorry. What was that, Bob?
Tell us how your winter was in Florida.
Oh, no snow, 72 degrees every day, sunshine, coffee at 7 o'clock in the morning, sit outside the RV, meet with friends, family. I mean, it was just great. I mean, everybody was so cool at the campground.
Now,
Where
can't
were you,
think of what-
Dante?
is this
Where
your
were you?
second year?
Daytona.
Is this your second year?
Yeah. So my second year doing snowbirding.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
And
you were in Daytona the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. This year we stayed in Daytona. Last year we hit Daytona for 45 days. Then we went to Lutz, Florida, went to Newport Richey, went to Port Charlotte. Port Charlotte, we love Port Charlotte. It was great over there. And then we came back to Daytona for the rest of the year. And then we came down. We decided to stay all the time this winter in Daytona, just to kind of get the feel for the East Coast a little bit better. I think next year what we're going to do is we're staying half a year in Daytona and go half a year on the West Coast. Figure out where we want to live.
uh-huh. Now you take your motorcycle with you too, right?
Yes, the F-150 and the motorcycle, they come with us.
How do
So
you now I know you took the truck home and then flew back so you can take your time this way, but when you go down, do you take the truck and the motorcycle and then you sleep in the bed of the truck with the motorcycle? How do you do that?
Drive down, stay in the rest area, get 4 hours sleep, just jump back in the truck and head back down to the campground. Drop everything off. Fly back if I have to. But I burned some points using one-way ticket, so it's just much easier with the motorhome. I mean, I'm right at the weight limit pulling.
Yep.
And sometimes it gets a little squirrely, so I just want to be safe.
Okay, Frank, this is your first year in snowbirding, and you did it a little bit differently. You actually purchased a lot. Take us through that process and why it was important for you to own rather than rent at a typical campground.
So, I mean, I wouldn't say it's our first year. We've been going to Sarasota for about 6 or 7 years. Not for this long. We typically did, the longest we ever stayed in Sarasota was 5 weeks. But the price was getting ridiculous. The park kind of went downhill after COVID. They were having families living in there. It just wasn't fun anymore. They weren't taking care of the park as well as they did. It was great. Loved the park, but it was just going downhill. And then they came back and said, you got to take a minimum of 3 months. And so it just got to us, and we took a ride, looked at some places, and we went down to Fort Myers to look at one place and didn't even know that right next door was this one we're at, Cypress Woods. And we kind of fell in love with it and took a shot, and kind of nervous all year because, we bought it last season, never stayed there or anything. And then we went down this year, and one of the best decisions we ever made. It probably cost me $1,000 more to own this, not including the purchase price, but $1,000 more a year to own it and use it anytime we want and be able to rent it out than it was staying at the other place for 5 weeks.
Yeah,
And Frank, if I recall, your place has got a big expansion coming too, right?
Yeah, it's actually done. They're just trying to sell the lots now. It's a Class A only on that section.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we drove through it. It's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful park, and it's really convenient to I-75.
Yeah, it's right there. And that was
Right off the highway.
one thing that made me nervous. I thought we were going to hear it. We don't hear it at all.
Yeah.
It's
Interesting.
great.
I know the real secret on why Frank bought in Fort Myers. Do you, John? See, I'm the historian. I do all the
Nothing
facts.
that I can say
Yeah.
while we're on the air.
Well, it's because it's the closest place to the Krispy Kreme donut. I mean, it only takes Frank 5 to 10 minutes to go out and get Krispy Kremes. I have to go 45 minutes to get to the Krispy Kreme donut shop in Fort Myers. That's a terrible burden.
Well, that could be.
I didn't even try it. I want to try that other thing we were talking about there.
Seat to table.
Oh, seed to table.
Seat to table.
God.
I didn't find John's video, but John and I talked about this on a couple of shows. Seat to Table is one of a kind supermarket. Alfie Oates is the owner. He's a farmer, knows everything about agriculture. If there's a change in administrations in Washington, don't be surprised if he's not the Secretary of Agriculture. He's just a phenomenal person. Now, yes, he is a Trump supporter. I mean, very few supermarkets have a Donald Trump souvenir stand outside, but he makes no bones about it. But it's the
Mike Lindell store inside.
Yeah, talk from your perspective, John. Talk about the inside of the store.
Well, the inside of the store. I won't talk about the urinals, though.
No, don't talk about the urinals.
Okay.
Well, John, Bob said you were in there taking videos.
Yeah, I got video. I have a still of the basically. We won't talk about that. But when you walk into the store, it's similar to a Stu Leonard store, or a really brand new Whole Foods store where they have all the fruits and vegetables, all piled up. But the interesting part about it, you go down in the meat department, and they have these ribeyes that are on sale. Every kind of steak imaginable. So you say, okay, I'll have that ribeye over there, the third from the back. They wrap it up, and then you go to the next department and tell them you want it medium rare, and they'll cook it for you right there. And then you sit at a table, and they bring your whole steak dinner out. If you want a baked potato, it's $3. If you want asparagus, it's $4. If you want a glass of wine, it's $5. Or if you're with a group of people, you go buy a whole bottle of wine. They'll uncork it for you and drink the wine right there.
You go to the wine section, you pick it out, and just take it back. There's nothing like it in the United States. They have 8 places in the restaurant, in the supermarket, where they have a wine bar. They have
live music every night.
Yeah, entertainment. Thursday night is free wine tasting for the ladies.
Yep.
It's just a great place. And Dante, when you come over to the West Coast next year, we'll take you up there.
Frank, it's only 20 miles from you, straight down 75.
Yeah.
I think it's exit 111.
Yeah, it's right. It's on Immokalee Road. If you get off 75 at exit 111, you go right. It's a mile down on the right-hand side. And
so I can buy all my Trump paraphernalia I can buy there?
You can buy it all, Frank. You'll spend.
They even have the Trump vineyards.
Yeah,
the wine is from Trump vineyards.
Hey, I've been behind people that spend $200 or $300 in the supermarket, go outside, and they're not aware that the stand is there, and then because it's right outside the exit door on the left, and then they look at it, and then they start looking, and they spend $200 or $300 more on Trump souvenirs. It's incredible. Dante, you're in Myrtle Beach tonight, but last night you were in Hilton Head. Tell us about the resort you were in there.
It was beyond anything I've ever seen before. We checked in; it was not cheap, and they wanted $120 a night for a pad. And you check in, they give you a key pass to get through the gate, but you're not allowed to go through the gate. You have 2 escorts that bring you into the facility. A guy in the front in the golf cart, a guy in the back in the golf cart. They drive you right to your site. Then they both get out of the golf carts and they back you into the site and ask you if everything's okay. Do you like your site? Yada yada yada. And then they take off. Every one of the sites is tiled. I mean, there's like ceramic tiles everywhere. Some of them come with fire pits. Some of them come with built-in gas grills with sinks. I was just in shock. I was like, holy mackerel. But the people, they actually own the site, and then they rent the sites out if they don't, if they're not there. And the deal is they get 50% of the rental income. So all Class A's, a couple Super C's, no travel trailers, no fifth wheels.
it's interesting because when they first opened, they didn't even allow Super Cs, and I said to them, "Look, at the Super C is more expensive than some of the Class A's that you got in it. You can have a $200,000 Class A, you can have a $500,000 Super C. How can you not, let them in?" So I'm glad to see that they changed that facility.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an incredible facility. To that point,
Yeah.
Frankwood is, DRV Mobile Suites couldn't stay there. It's kind of crazy. Build a separate section. What about that, Frank? Do you have you hit any parks that, or have you looked at Class A only parks that you would like to go to, but because they have that restriction, you go elsewhere?
No. I might be out of line saying this, but it just seems like some of those places, they're not the same kind of people. Like,
Oh,
they're not
Frank,
real
exactly
campers.
right.
You're
Right.
not out of line. You're not
You're
out
exactly
of line.
right.
Yeah.
They got a chip on their shoulder. We stayed at a place last year, not this past year, the year before. We got down there 2 days too early, so we stayed at this new place in Palmetto, the Surf, I think it is. Beautiful, like all pavers. Your site, you could put 3 of my rigs on it. It was huge, and the people were snobs. Like, I would never go back there. It was $200 a night, two or 210 a night, and so we went for a walk and we went up through the center where the bar was, and I don't know, maybe I didn't have the right sneakers on or something, but I'm like, screw you.
Hey Frank, they're having
Yeah.
problems renting those spaces out there in that Palmetto location.
Say that again.
They're having trouble running those slots out now at that Palmetto location. We have friends of ours that live a mile from there, and they said it's so snobby, it's crazy. People aren't even going there anymore.
Yeah,
Well,
there you go.
it's the staff too, because the people that we went to Sarasota with had to get another park because they got priced right out of there. They went over and looked at that one, which I'm not really sure why, but when he was in getting a tour, he said to the lady giving him the tour, "Well, we've been camping." She said, "This is not camping." And he's like, "Okay, see ya."
Well,
it's like,
this is why John and I love, and millions of other people, Camp Margaritaville. When Don was giving us the tour, you would see a $3 million Newell, you'd
Yep.
see $200,000 Georgetown, you'd see a Mobile Suites. I don't think, there was one pop out there. They don't care.
Right.
It's doesn't make a difference who you are, what you go, and they just want a fun experience. And
Well,
it's the exact opposite of what you said, Frank. I mean, everybody that goes there says what a wonderful place. Whether you're a family, whether you're a group, it's crazy. It's business 101. You're both businessmen. You both own your own business. I mean, how difficult is it to treat your customers right, or better yet,
With
to
respect.
know what your customer expects?
Yeah.
now that
Frank, you got a
campground-
dome light? You got a dome light in that vehicle?
yeah, but it's not. It's in front of me. That's the problem.
Oh no, that's all right. As long
Yeah,
as it's
Bob.
coming back.
that campground we left in Daytona is exact opposite of the one we stayed at in Hilton Head. You got to know everybody around there. You'd pull in, people say, "Hey, how you doing? Where you from? Do you want a beer?" Sit down next to you, BS.
All in one sentence, Dante.
Yeah, I mean, it was all in one sentence. I mean, you couldn't get 2 minutes out of your mouth, and people were, "Hey, have a beer. Where you from? Let's sit down." Blah blah blah. Hey, it was unbelievable. We had people. Our next door neighbors were like in tears when we were leaving. Like, when are we going to see you again? Are you coming back?
Hey, Frank,
That's the way our new place is. I mean, I've talked to, like, you got to understand, we just met people down there, and we're texting back and forth. We're messaging. One of the neighbors called and, hey, blah blah blah. So it's like I got closer friends down there in one time I've been there, and we've been at the other place for 6 years with the same people behind us, and never talked to them or nothing.
Well,
It's just
Funny you say that.
it's different.
I think it's a Florida thing, Frank. we have met more people. We have formed more relationships in the 2 years that we've been down here than we did 30 years in Stowe or 15 years in Hudson. I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
know, I didn't even know my neighbors in most of those places. Now, granted, we were building our companies, we were growing a family and what have you, but still, the ability to create new relationships and have fun, it's kind of crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to check comments real quick here. I don't know if we're missing anything. Dante's. Oh, here we go. Dante, what site are you in? We're in 115. That's Susan and Jim Keenan.
We're in
They have a
133.
JOCO.
Jim does the shows for Pete's RV. He was one of the best salespeople in the New England area for years, and Jim was always a great ambassador for Pete's. And he does come back, and as you said before, he does work. 3
John,
shows.
we're in 133.
133.
Oh, hey, Jim, if you're listening, or Susan, run over to Bernie. Run over to Dante's right now. He'll give you a beer.
Yeah,
and come on the show.
Yeah, come on the show.
Come on the show. Dante, you don't have a big dog, do you?
No.
Is your wife decent?
I got a mean cat.
Oh, wow.
Dante, is your wife decent, or is she going to get pissed if somebody starts banging on
She's
your door?
decent.
Yo, you had those stories.
She's a little old, but she's decent.
Bernie says, "Where's the meatballs?" Oh, never mind. Don't you start with Italian jokes, Bernie.
Yeah.
Jason, what's this, the Mafia show? Well, it wasn't planned that way, Jason, but it turned into it, right? So don't mess around. Grandkids are the best. Jason, nice. What Duncan
is better. We're talking about crispy. I don't agree. Duncan has better coffee, though.
Oh, yeah, I like Dunkin' coffee, but nothing beats a Krispy Kreme donut. Phil Sell, Krispy Kremes would be in every McDonald's. Yes, that's right. If you didn't see that notice.
But you have to clarify something you said. Nothing beats a Krispy Kreme donut. There's no such thing as Krispy Kreme donut.
That's true. You're
Donuts.
Right.
You cannot eat one Krispy Kreme donut.
That's a cardinal sin. You are right.
There's no way.
So Florida, that's right. McDonald's is going to sell three different Krispy Kreme. If I don't call them donuts, what do I call them? 3 Krispy Kremes? But
you just say donuts with a plural.
New England is very late. That's understandable because they're
okay.
really,
so the Keenans are on their way to Dante's.
We now have a restaurant review show.
Yeah.
Thanks. All right. He's there. So Dante, before they bang up your note, and then I'll get back to Frank. What do you think is the biggest benefit of becoming?
They're there.
Here already? All right, the hell with them, Frank.
There's 1,000 spaces there, and they're both within the same area.
They must have been in the spot right behind them when you look at the map. It's like 123 is here and 115 is there. Frank, you've been going to Florida for a long time. What's the biggest benefit for New England RV to consider snowbirding?
Oh, well, we don't want to tell too many people. It's getting crowded down there.
It is getting crowded, Carl. Let me tell you, it is getting. We can't wait for the snowbirds to go home. Hey, what you got there?
I dropped you.
Oh yeah.
What the heck happened? There you
go. You're right. We can't.
You know what? It's just basically it's the weather. You know what I mean? But the people are great. It's just there's nothing like it. You know, like I told you, we were down there for the first time this year at the new place. We got more friends than we did at the. After 6 years.
Yeah, and even John's been impressed. John, you're thinking about coming down for at least a whole month next year, right?
Yeah, definitely all of February.
Yeah, and you're right, Frank. I attribute it to the people and the weather and the people. It's a slower pace, but they're just nice people. I mean, they're not living.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a slower pace because there's so damn much traffic, and especially Fort Myers is insane with the traffic.
It is.
You think Fort Myers is bad? You should have been up in Sarasota. We were in heaven in Fort Myers, and it
really.
Oh
wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's interesting you say that because I wanted to take my wife. We were going from Orlando down to Fort Myers, and I wanted to take my wife to the Columbia restaurant in Sarasota. But when I saw the traffic jam going from the highway into the city, I just turned around and kept going.
Yeah, you gotta learn the back roads. You gotta learn the times to go out.
Right.
I mean, if you're in the midst of it, like you're 3 times in the traffic signal, like 3 cycles.
Right.
Minimum.
Exactly. And you're there. Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy.
And the left
crazy.
turn lanes are 2 lanes. Now look at
Yep.
this. Zagami.
Yeah.
This is like a dating show here. We find out.
Hold on a second. Are they Italian?
No, they're Irish.
They broke the mold. Hey Jim. Yeah, I don't think
They're not Italian. What are they doing on this show?
Oh, that's right.
Let's see if I can move this computer a little bit.
I don't think Keenan's Italian. Susan, Keenan's Italian, because unless you're Italian, we have to send you back to but are you Italian?
Can you guys see?
Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
you.
we see you.
So we got Susan
way
and
too funny.
Keenan on their way home.
You need a beer?
From
That's way too. Zagami, figure this out. We're 1,000 miles. We're 1,500 miles away from those guys,
right.
and we have a listener and a viewer and a guest in the same place. It's just like when I was down in Florida and I went through one of those high-end parks. Frank said, "Where are you?" And I told him we were at that other one, Frank, down south of you. But then we came up to your place the next day. Couldn't get in on a Sunday because the gates were locked.
Yeah.
But the next day they were so polite and so pleasant. And they have that clubhouse that is like a golf course clubhouse, right?
Where?
At your place?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
And they got it. They call it the town center. We can use it. In other words, if I want to have a party there,
Right.
we sign up, and it's our hall. All part of it. You know, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's what we've got down here. We got a little town center and facilities. We got the golf clubs. We can do the same type of thing, and even
Hey, Keenan, maybe you can squeeze a pound of pasta out of Dante. He's got to have a pound of pasta in there.
What? What do you want?
You got a box of pasta there that you can throw up for those Irish people?
Wait a minute. What do you mean? You need pasta? Hang on.
No, they want corned beef and cabbage.
That's incredible.
There.
What's he got? Wait,
Barilla?
He's
got
There
the
you
Barilla.
go.
Oh, he's got the good stuff too.
Got the
There
good
you
stuff.
Got the
Are you
good stuff.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Cook some up
No,
for Keenan
no
because
SpaghettiOs in this RV.
No. You guys are terrible. This is terrible.
You
You know what? When you don't plan for a show, it's always better than if you plan for every
Right.
minute of it, because we had no idea that you guys were going to be.
no, we didn't know you were going to put down your wheels on the same lot. You know, that Barilla, Jimmy, had they used to have an incredible egg fettuccine, but they just stopped selling it in the States about 3 years ago. My wife, every time we go to an Italian market, we look for it, but egg fettuccine.
Oh, really?
So check your cupboard, and if you have any egg fettuccine, don't cook it, but bring it home to me. All right?
Hey, Dante, is your slide out?
What?
Is your slide out?
Yeah. Both
Oh,
my
it is?
slides
Okay.
are out.
Okay. And
Yeah.
where's that? Is that computer on the dashboard facing the back?
My computer's on my little table between the driver's seat and the passenger seat.
Okay. That's the way.
Kind of like
You're
a workstation.
there you
Yeah,
go.
my workstation is my wife's seat. So
Now, why are you hiding? It's Lori, right? Lori, your wife's name? Lori?
I can't hear you.
Your wife's name is Lori, right?
Lori, yeah.
Yeah. Well, why are you hiding her down there by the bathroom?
Because she don't like to be on the TV.
Oh, okay. All right. Hi,
She might
Lori.
have just had some Chinese food.
I
She has to be
didn't
close-
Show hi.
She has to be close to the bathroom.
I didn't want to not recognize her.
Yeah, like Ryan said, live. This is live TV at its best. And what do we got? We got 3 groups in Florida and 2 in Massachusetts. Frank's out in the western part of the state. I'm in the central part of the state.
Not yet done. Another great show, guys. Heading out. Hopefully, hey Don, you come in late and you leave early.
Well, they got bad weather down there.
Oh, okay.
They got severe weather.
Ryan, look at it. This is great for Ryan. I mean, 2 days in the classroom doing all that tech stuff. Then he comes home and he gets to see us live in a great show. I mean, he'll be pumped going back out to his customers tomorrow.
Well, I'll be in Florida next week, so
that's
Where?
that's incredible.
at Margaritaville
That's right,
In
for the
Au-
Kenny Rogers.
in Auburndale. Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna go up there for the Kenny Rogers concert.
So we'll do a portion of the show. I already told Dawn. I said, Dawn, come on with us for 15 minutes next Wednesday night. But you got to provide those margaritas. Were the best. I've never had a margarita like that before or since.
How do you drink a margarita over the internet?
Because I will be at Margaritaville.
Oh, that's right. You're picking up the motorhome, and then you Wednesday night. So are you gonna do the show live from there Wednesday night?
We'll do a portion of it. I told her if you can do it, great. Otherwise, we'll just tape a portion of it in the afternoon.
Yeah, tape something and show it. Yeah,
Yeah.
And I will get there on Friday.
Saturday.
Yeah, on Saturday. I'll see you on
Yeah,
Saturday. Coming up on Friday, we're taking our
No,
brother.
the show is Friday.
Huh?
The show is Friday.
Then I'm going up on Thursday. We're taking our brother-in-law and sister-in-law up.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Frank, any last words of wisdom about snowbirding before you head back to your meeting there?
No, just do your due diligence. There's plenty of places down there, and it depends on what you like to do. Like I said, a place like ours, there's all different groups. Like there's a group that ride. I don't know, someday I'll figure out how to get my motorcycle back down, but
Zagami will drive it. Zagami will drive it for you.
Well, there must be companies that ship motorcycles. They ship golf clubs, for Christ's sake. They ought to be able to ship.
Oh,
Hey, are there places that ship motorcycles?
yeah, there's plenty of places around that'll do it. I'm just anal. I don't like people messing with my stuff. I always had it on the back of the Class A, the Dutch Star.
Yep.
I had a lift on it, but then when we went to a fifth wheel, they didn't make. You couldn't put a lift on the back of them. But the one that I'm secretly in the process of maybe definitely getting, it's a custom built with a frame that'll take the hydraulic lift on the back. So we'll see.
So that's the one that you haven't told the wife about yet?
No, she knows, and now I guess everybody else knows. So I'll be hearing about it. I probably should have.
So Kevin's in the airport boarding his flight. This is way too funny.
I mean,
Hey,
unless you got anything for me, guys, I just got a text saying your ice cream's melting. So
No, get back inside. Thank you for joining us, Frank.
Yeah, thank you very much. We'll see you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
So Jim, when you guys get home, you going to take a slow walk getting?
Yeah, we spent the winter in Summerfield, just south of Ocala, and then we just detoured back from the Panhandle back to West Palm Beach. We did a week in West Palm Beach. Unfortunately, I had to go to a funeral, and now we're making our way north slowly. We'll be home by the 17th.
Where'd you stay when you were at West Palm?
One of those snooty resorts where English is not spoken.
We may have been there on the same day. I was over there last week. May and I had lunch with
Marty
and Marty Hanoud.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was nice.
Vacation Inn was the name of the place, right on Military Trail.
Yeah, he's at the golf club. He's had that house down there for over 20 years. That he bought that.
They're in Ballin Isle, right?
Huh?
Aren't they in Ballin Isle?
No, he's at the Iron Horse Golf Club in West Palm Beach.
Iron Horse. Okay.
Yeah.
Zagami, look what time it is.
What are we done? Oh, we're after 8 o'clock. Gee, man, we could have got this one going for 2 hours, but we got to be respectful of our incredible fans, and we appreciate you joining tonight, and
Thanks,
hope
guys.
you enjoyed it. And we'll catch you later on, John. Any closing tonight?
No, we'll see you guys. We're heading down Monday or Tuesday. I'm trying to change the flight, and I just can't find anybody at JetBlue that speaks English, but nevertheless.
Well, hopefully you will, and we'll see you down there. So
See you next week. Okay. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. We don't take your presence on Wednesday evenings for granted. We appreciate it and thank you, and wish you a great week, everyone.
And this is further proof that we do not script these shows, and we have no idea what's going to happen when we hit the button at 7 o'clock and we hit it again at 8 o'clock. This was a true testament to that tonight. So thank you.
See y'all.
Welcome to RVing in New England. This edition of RVing in New England was a presentation of the New England RV Dealers Association. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.